Welcome to Aging with Purpose. Today we're diving into the powerful topic of empowering women to lead with clarity, confidence, and resilience. Our special guest is Kimberly Bannister, a dynamic business strategist and founder of Bannister Business Solutions, a woman-owned, minority-owned consulting firm with over 35 years of hands-on experience in federal operations. Kimberly rose through the ranks of the federal government, starting as a GS2 clerk typist and retiring as a GS15 supervisory program manager before she boldly stepped into full-time entrepreneurship. Her career reflects the essence of resilience, ambition, and leadership. And now, through her consultancy, she helps organizations operate smarter and more efficiently, bridging the gap between public sector structure and private sector innovation. Kimberly is also passionate about equipping women like us with the tools and strategies to rise, reclaim control, and lead with purpose, especially needed in these uncertain times, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Kimberly, so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, what would you say to someone like a woman who's out there watching the show right now who's feeling overstretched, undervalued, and unsure in these times? And just in general, sometimes it's not necessarily what's going on with the current times, but a lot of times we feel unsure about our next steps.
Yes, that is very true. We as women balance a lot of balls in the air, and we're unsure about which way to go or what to do. We have to give ourselves permission to pause, to think about what's the best step forward, take a step back, think about what is the best next step. And it's okay. Mm-hmm. And to know it's okay. It's okay if you make the wrong decision, because you can correct. So it's okay to be unsure. It's okay to be uncertain, but step boldly into the next move. But give yourself time to pause and think about what that next move should be.
What are some steps to pause, especially for someone who's, let's say, they're working a full-time job, teenage kids, maybe caregiving for one of their parents, juggling so many things? How do you fit pausing in there?
That's an excellent question. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard about work-life balance, and there definitely needs to be work-life balance. I find that if we schedule and prioritize, that will help with pausing. We have to schedule our time. So, including self-care. So I've had to, for myself personally, I've had to incorporate going to the gym. So I go because I'm a caregiver for my mother. So I can't leave her for so long by herself. So I go at 6:00 in the morning while she's still resting. And then when I come back home, then I can fix her breakfast, get her up, and do, whatever we need to do for the day. But it's making adjustments to your schedule, thinking about what's the best fit for you, and knowing that it's not always going to be perfect, but we have to take time for ourselves to reflect, to think, what's our best next step. If it's, I go to the gym at 6, and I also use that time while I'm at the gym to read scripture. So I incorporate that there, to fill in the gaps, because I probably won't have time when I get back home. So instead of making excuses, let's make adjustments to our schedule and, figure out, what's best. And I know it's challenging raising kids. My kids are grown, but I recall, I had 3 sons. They all played sports, and I wanted to be there for each one of them. Like, they were like 3-4 years apart, so it wasn't too hard, but I commuted to work. I had to come back home, make sure they got to practice, and I always wanted to show up for their games. So it's all about making adjustments and what works best, having clarity around what are your end goals, getting some clarity, sitting down and thinking about it and scheduling it. Because if it's not on the schedule, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I think like you mentioned, you said show up. You showed up for your son, but we also have to show up for ourselves. So I like to get up early, and that's like my meditation time, my coffee and my meditation. I'll plan out my day. Every now and then I'll find time to write in my journal. So ladies, that could be something you can do. It's like it could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Just write out your thoughts about what you want to do next, or what you would like to change, what it would look like. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned something about meditation, and that's one that, as I'm going through and listening to different audiobooks and things of that nature, it's, how to start your day. And one of the suggestions is to start with meditation for clarity. Mm-hmm. And to set the tone for your day, on what, how you, how you want your day to go, because again, it don't always go the way you want it to. And also possibly having a gratitude journal, and I have a journal that I will share with you that all the participants can get. Reclaim and Rise and Reclaim in 5 days.
Awesome. And I think the thing too, because I know with meditation, I hear people talk about clearing your mind. I haven't been able to do that. I've given up on trying to. Sometimes my meditation isn't the same. It's like my mind is busy thinking about what I want to do. I just let it happen. I'm just, because
I have to agree with you, because I tried meditation too, and it always tells you to breathe, stop thinking about this. But it is so hard to stop thinking about all the things that you got going on. Even if you're only doing it for 10 or 15 minutes, it's hard. So I just let my mind flow. I just sit, breathe, relax, and try to be calm. But it does help, I think, with as you're going through your day, it gives you some calmness, I think, in making decisions, and hopefully some clarity as well.
Yeah, I keep a little notepad because I get some great ideas or things that I need to do that I might have forgotten, or something new that comes to me. So I always write it down because I'll forget.
Yes, and it's easy to forget.
Yes.
Having a full schedule, children, try to balance, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you work a 9 to 5, you have kids, you have a spouse, you have to find that balance.
Definitely.
In addition to taking care of yourself.
And you mentioned work, because I'm like, some people are driving to work. You can also, I don't know how to do this with the hands-free rules, but maybe record some of your thoughts, or record some things that you need to do, or whatever, your thoughts about what you want to do next in your life, etc.
Yes, that's a great recommendation. There is an app called Voice Recorder on your phone, where you could just turn it on and just talk and record yourself. And then you can go back and listen later.
I need to do that. I never thought about that till just now. So I was looking at your website, and you have a phrase, leadership accountability. I'm not sure if that's considered a phrase. So what is leadership accountability? What is it? And I know you work with organizations to build in that area, but how can women apply those similar principles that you might share with companies? How can women apply that to their lives for more clarity and confidence?
So I recently did a presentation on accountability in women. Women leadership, and it was around that exact question that you ask, and I'll go back to what we said previously about women juggle so many things, and it's finding that work-life balance, but you have to emulate what you want to see. So if you want a strong organization, you want a team that supports your mission and vision, then you have to demonstrate that. You have to empower them to be a part of your team, to contribute to feel like they're contributing to the mission and vision of the organization. Put processes in place, be effective and efficient, communicate change early on, get buy-in from the employees. It's just basically starts with you. It starts with you as the leader. Your team is the best reflection of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know that there are different personalities and different, people on the team, but you have to work with each person where they are and help get them to the place they need to be. Do they need training? Do they need, other things? Do they need work-life balance? What type of incentives are you offering to them to keep them engaged, accountable, being a team player? Are your processes documented so you can, easily transition when you have to fill a position? Mm-hmm. And I think a lot about that with all the challenges that are going on with the reductions in force in the federal government and all of that. There's no transition period. They're losing a lot of historical knowledge. They're losing, if the processes aren't documented and you don't have people to teach you how to do the job. Because at some point, I feel like that they will go back and going to have to hire some more people, because I really feel like they're rushing that part. Mm-hmm. I do understand the part about a reduction in force, because about 15 years ago when I was working, there was a reduction in force, but it took about eight months to actually implement it, to go through the entire process. There's knowledge transfer. There's, working with people and all that kind of stuff for the right thing. So I think accountability has to be demonstrated. You have to hold yourself accountable for the success of your team and or organization, and you have to emulate what you want to see.
Okay. And how can this be applied to their personal lives?
That is a great question, because I was asked that before. And that's another thing. Sometimes we get so focused on the work aspect and we lose sight of the personal aspect, because that's needed as well. So I think around, because I have grandchildren now and I see, they're teenagers. But I do see where, there needs to be some rules put in place, some structure for them as well. Come home from school, do your homework, or if you do sports, which two of my grandsons do. If you have sports, when you come home from practice, do your homework. There should be a certain time frame that you turn the game off and go to sleep so you can get up for school in the morning. So just having some structure and rules around for children. Accountability in other areas is making time for yourself, again, self-care, holding yourself accountable for your significant other or spouse, making sure you allow time for them, get some balance, and I think planning and schedule plays a big part in the accountability on the personal level. And I will also say with accountability is, and this is with everything, if you make a bad decision, don't beat yourself up, because why? It's just going to make it worse. Give yourself grace and adjust. And my favorite word is pivot. That's what my new favorite word is pivot, because we have had to shift and pivot with everything that's going on. So, giving yourself grace and, I think.
And I think maybe it's a reminder too that a lot of the stuff that we're dealing with is part of life. Some of it is more extreme than others, but it's part of life as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. And that's the other thing I just posted today. May is National Mental Health Awareness Month. And so I posted the little flyer or whatever, and I said, be kind to yourself and others, because we don't know what others are going through.
Hmm.
Yep. So it doesn't hurt to be nice.
Yeah.
Be kind.
Yeah, that's very
I
true.
mean, and sometimes, we all have a bad day. We all have a bad day, and it's okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Another word that's used pretty often is resilience. It's often talked about, but do we fully understand what resilience means? Do we?
I you know, I I don't think so, but I just think, if you, what is it, fall down 99 times, get up 100.
Hmm.
Like, it's continuing to, if you have a setback, it's okay. You can rebound. You can get back up again and do what you need to do.
Hmm.
So resilience means hanging in there even on the tough days.
Mm.
It means keep on going. I fell down, didn't break nothing, so I'm going to get back up and take a
Yeah.
step forward. Or I'm going to stay here and figure out why I fell and then take a step forward. So, you can pick then take a step forward and figure out why, what happened, what actually happened.
Okay.
Assess the situation. But
So,
yeah,
go on. I'm sorry. Go on.
I was just going to say, continuing to persevere.
Got it.
Yeah.
We're using the term women leadership quite often, and I think that some of our audience members might immediately think that we're speaking of an executive at a corporation or someone who's running their own company, their own business already. Can you redefine that so everyday women can understand that it applies to them as well?
I believe you can lead from any position. Leading is leadership is doing what you're supposed to do, being a team player, helping others out. You're a leader in your home. Most women are leaders in their home because they control the day to day, right? You control the day to day. You control what's for breakfast, for dinner. You, wash the clothes. You organize. You schedule. That's what leaders do. So the everyday person, you're just as much a leader as the top CEO, CFO, COO. You're a leader too. You decide how far you want to go in your career as a leader and take those same qualities that you may use in your home, but it's the same qualities. It's the same, steps of learning, being coachable, being open to growing, and just leading from within. And then, I don't know if you heard this term before, they talk about leadership, but you can lead up or coach up. Like, you can talk to your supervisor or whatever about things you see. That's being a leader.
Okay.
Being the one that's innovative, give recommendations, that's the word I want to use, to your supervisor or whomever about things that that you may see that they don't see, that could help the organization. So it's just being a hardworking good person that just
What does your typical coaching client look like?
My typical coaching client, I do one-on-ones primarily with women. At the corporate level, I have a accountability coaching workshop that I would do 10 or less people, which is a team, it's like a team building exercise, and we talk about that particular one was based upon the Oz principle, the Wizard of Oz story, and it's just doing doing, it talked about the pitfalls of, accountability and all that stuff. And being, again, accountability starts with leadership and, demonstrating what you want to see, and it's not blaming others. It's taking constructive feedback and that type of stuff. So that's more of the team setting. And the one-on-one sessions is empowering women to learn how to move through their environment with strategy and helping themselves. So the one-on-ones are more hands-on.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it. And are those like virtual, in person? Is there a time frame?
So yes, I have a couple. The workshop, of course, it can be either, depending upon the organization. I've done in person and virtual. One-on-one can be either as well. And there's a 3-week coaching series, and then there's also a 6-week coaching experience as well. So it depends on the needs of the individual to, where they are, because each is at different levels. It's like, are you just overwhelmed and just don't know where to go? Or are you in your environment and you're like, but I need to know what's next. So you need to be empowered. You're not in today's society, you're not alone. You're not the only one that's going through. Like, I feel that a lot of people were rift, but then there are a lot of people that are still working. And so they are stuck with doing more work and the uncertainty of whether they're going to be next.
Yeah.
So how do you continue to move and thrive in those types of environments? Do you sit around all day and worry about if you're going to be next, or do you push through and find your next, or demonstrate that you should be there, or seek other opportunities? You have to figure out what it is that's right for you. So it's just guided.
I kind of feel that we're at a time where no matter what job you have, you pretty much need to keep your resume prepped, continue to learn, keep learning new skills. I know you're probably already thinking, women, ladies out there, I'm juggling a lot already, but there's a lot of online courses or whatever. I feel like you have to keep, I guess, gaining more skill sets no matter what, and looking for the potential of new opportunities, because you don't know what's going on.
Make yourself marketable. And one thing I learned over my career is don't get too comfortable in your position and think that you're going to stay in that position all of your career. Don't do nothing else. I think that, as you said, opportunities for training. If your organization offers training, take training opportunities. Make yourself marketable in the event you are rift or your organization is downsizing, so that you are marketable to another organization. So that I'm a lifelong learner. I'm still learning.
Yes. Yeah, and I think to listen to our intuition. So just full disclosure, I had a part-time recruiting position, and back in September, I was feeling like, it's time to move forward, move on, et cetera, et cetera. And I had been debating if I want to go back to digital marketing, which I had my own boutique, did digital marketing before I moved to take care of my dad. Mm-hmm. But I don't know people here in the DC area like that, although I've been here 6 years. Mm-hmm. So I was kind of like, I'm not sure. And then budget changes. The company I work for is a nonprofit. I'm not going to say any names, but it had to do with refugees or whatever. And all of a sudden I had no work. And we started laying off people. And I'm like, twiddling my thumbs. I'm like, my manager's trying to sound positive, but I'm like, there's no way, my job is gone. So I started working on my website. Like, my time off, like, let me get ready. So when I got that call, she was all sad. I'm like, no, it's great.
I'm good.
Sad, but I'm ready to move back to what I love to do.
Right. So you were proactive instead of reactive. Mm-hmm. And that's something too that we would talk about a little bit. Be proactive, not reactive. Don't be a firefighter. Try to plan for. I mean, we don't know what the future holds.
No.
But be as prepared as you can for it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, be as prepared as you can, and you had another skill set that you could move on to.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. So you weren't just stuck to one.
Right. And I've kept those skill sets going, not full time, of course, but I kept those skill sets going and I signed up for a boot camp, et cetera, et cetera. But I already re-signed with my former clients from like 6 years ago. He was like, I haven't trusted anybody all these years. So, and talking to others as well. So I just want people to, like you said, plan, strategize as much as possible, keep those skill sets going. There's so much online. They don't know what they want to do, but you got you as a coach, YouTube for different ideas of different careers, and ChatGPT of how you could transition your skill sets that you have. There's so much out there.
There's a lot out there. And the other thing too is with there being people being riffed and losing their jobs in the federal government, some contractors downsizing. So there's going to be more competition for positions. So make yourself, again, marketable. The education, while it does take time, learn everything you can and be coachable, teachable, hands-on training. I mean, ask for, if you're still working, can I be trained? I do one aspect of HR. Why not learn all of them? Slowly, gradually, so that you are marketable.
Yes. And before I let you go, I really like that you have the group coaching. And ladies, I want you to consider that, because if you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling alone, a group coaching session is excellent, because you got other people, you can get ideas from other people who can input as well, and you just feel like you have a greater support group. And then the one-on-one, I feel like that's like really strategic. Like, dude.
Yes. Yes, really strategic. And and that's a great point. With the group coaching, you have other people who probably come from different backgrounds, or and they bring different perspectives, and they may have an idea, as you said, that could help your specific situation. So that's what that brings. One-on-one is just more strategic and more just
perfect. So
guiding based upon what you say. But see, in a group setting, more information could come out, which triggers something else. So I like the group coaching one.
To sort of wrap things up in a nice bow, Kimberly, what are the 3 tips that you would give?
Number 1, give yourself permission to pause. Overwhelm often comes from trying to do everything at once. Give yourself permission to slow down. Rest isn't quitting, it's preparation for your next move. Pausing with intention allows you to reclaim clarity, energy, and focus. Number 2, redefine strength as asking for support. Empowerment doesn't mean doing it all alone. True strength comes when you reach out, speak up, and let others support your growth. Whether it's a coach, community, or trusted friend, connection is key to rising with purpose. And number 3, start small but stay consistent. You don't need to overhaul your life in a day. Big breakthrough often begins with small, consistent steps. One mindset shift, one boundary, one yes to yourself. Keep showing up for you, and the reclaiming begins.
Yes. So how would a potential client reach you? Is there a consultation time that you give? Any other information you want to share?
Yes, I do free 15-minute consultations to talk about the coaching I have, and I have a calendar link which I can send to you. My website is bannisterbusinesssolutions.com, and my email is kimb@bannisterbusinesssolutions.com. And I also can be reached, my phone number is 301-481-6937.
Perfect. And if it's okay to let people know to find you on LinkedIn, because I noticed that you share different workshops, different events that you're speaking at as well.
Yes. On LinkedIn, I'm Kimberly Bannister.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Kimberly, for joining us.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.